let's talk about you. I've been loving your podcast, the
Thank
Viall
you.
Files.
Thank you for listening.
Guys, if you haven't checked it out yet, you really need to. It has a great balance of Bachelor talk and tea, but also relationship advice.
Yeah, I mean, quite honestly, we try to sprinkle in Bachelor talk and tea, but it's really not meant to be a Bachelor recap show.
And it doesn't feel like one, but...
My life has involved my time on The Bachelor, and I try to be as open as possible about my life and my perspective and dating in the world. And so with that comes some Bachelor talk and perspective. But we try to tackle some fun and interesting issues about dating and relationships and sex. And this week's episode is about mental health, and I talked to a therapist about, just breaking down those kind of perceptions about therapy and things that we can do to, have a healthy emotional and mental well-being, which is just as important as, say, exercising for your physical well-being.
You had Rachel Lindsay.
I had Rachel on. That was a little Bachelor heavy, but,
But everyone loved it. I mean, it was so interesting to hear some things and learn some new things I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, certainly we like to, I think from time to time as Bachelor people get out of the show, talk about some of the behind the scenes, not so much the production aspect where people are like, oh, is it real, and things like that. I mean, we've addressed all those, but sometimes there's just things that aren't aired and little kind of like moments that are interesting, but people don't know about. And it was
bonding
fun
over being the lead.
Yeah, it was fun to have Rachel on. She's a good friend. She's was fantastic, and people seem to enjoy it. So.
Are you going to her wedding?
She said she was going to invite me.
That's exciting.
I'd gladly and happily would go.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are tight. Now I hear Andi Dorfman is coming on your podcast. Maybe Kailtyn Bristowe?
I've asked Andi, and she told me that she would when she's in town. We'll see if it actually happens. But Andi and I are cool,
have to listen to that.
we try to bump into each other. People seem to always enjoy Andi Dorfman and I. Getting together.
Platonic.
Yeah, we're friends. But I'd love to have Andi on. Kailtyn, my producers thought I think it'd be a great idea. And my producers suggested that we kind of swap podcasts, which I'd be open to doing. I was told that she wasn't interested.
But then you put that on your Instagram story. Did she respond to it and say, no, I actually am interested?
Well, I got DM'd by some people saying Kailtyn tweeted something to the effect of like, well, I wasn't asked by him, but then deleted that tweet shortly thereafter, which is always kind of a
mystery.
It's kind of like, well, why'd you delete that?
Right. I hope that she ends up. That would be fun.
I think it'd be fun. I mean, I don't know, Kailtyn and I haven't talked much, and obviously I opened up my podcast with telling some behind the scenes of the season, but I think Kailtyn has a very successful and talented podcast. I think it'd be fun to have Kailtyn on. Maybe someday she will. I don't really have much interest in rehashing the past, but I think it could be fun and playful. So, if she wants to come on, open invite.
Well, speaking of Kailtyn, she's now officially dating Jason Tartick.
Yeah,
so,
great.
Any thoughts on the new relationship?
A relationship meant for the gram,
Nick,
What?
You don't think it's genuine?
No, it can be both, can it?
I mean, I think so.
We just have a front row seat. We've seen we're gonna go on a date, and now they went on a date.
Here, told me. Yeah.
So we've had a front row seat. They've made it.
Do you see it lasting?
I don't. I've met Jason once. I thought he was really a dynamic and interesting guy. He's very charming. He's good looking. I personally have had in the past fallen for Kailtyn, so I can see. Other than that, I don't know much about their relationship. Sure, why not? Relationships are tough. Most don't work out.
Want more extra? Hit the subscribe button and the bell and never miss a video.